It is an unprecedented year, isn't it? Because half of humanity will vote for their new leaders this year, and they're voting in a I hate to use big words like climate, but in a climate of, I don't think there's ever been so many multiple threats to democracy. There's a surge in right-wing nationalism all over the world. The greatest threat in many countries is not immigrants, as it seems to the loud voices screaming this, but actually the kind of extremists on both sides, mostly the right wing, talking about how bad immigrants are. Well, immigrants are the lifeblood of any economy, firstly. Secondly, people seem to have forgotten what the interconnectedness of the world is like. We live in this incredible world of something is made in Shenzhen, China, and shipped to us within a week. You buy something on Shein or Temu and you get it delivered. Those are the plus sides of technology, but the negative sides are that lots of bad actors, to use the neutral phrase the platforms like to use, like outright criminal scumbag right-wing arseholes, I'm allowed to swear, but that's as far as I can go, they just want to fuck up the game, really. And they want to fuck up the game for their own better advantage. Political parties are formed, especially in South Africa, and information just gets spread around. And I started writing something when Keller asked me this, and my intro was, back in the day, you'd get an email 20 years ago saying, Bill Gates will give everybody $100 if you forward this to everybody in your Outlook mailbox. In fact, there was a satire website that once wrote, scientists discover the only virus Outlook can't forward is flu. So what we know is that people take information they receive from a digital form uncritically. Someone sends you an email saying, COVID is dangerous, don't take the vaccine, or Thabo Mbeki reads the internet and discovers antiretrovirals are actually the toxicity that causes HIV. People assume that what they receive is accurate when it isn't, and there's no fact-checking, and what we used to have was a variety of well-meaning organizations with a code of ethics and a conduct and an intention to be objective, even though ultimately everybody's subjective, called the media, who would filter the information, check the information, and make sure that they weren't publishing nonsense, right? So the joke in journalism is you phone a cabinet minister and you say, are you having an affair with your secretary? And he goes, rubbish, what a load of nonsense. And then the bad publications would write a headline saying, cabinet minister denies affair with secretary. We don't have those filters or even that joke anymore. Everything that comes to people through social media could be wildly untrue. Look at all of the anti-vax stuff that happened during COVID. Facebook and Facebook and WhatsApp are by far the biggest spreaders of misinformation, and we see that all over the world. And it doesn't necessarily have to be current information, it can be information about something else, where there were things being circulated in the Kenyan election recently that had nothing to do with Kenya. They were mob scenes from Indonesia. But people don't see that. There's no filter to the information anymore. And that's what social media has done. And of course, with the advent of artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, you can make it sound reasonable, plausible. You can make 419 scams without the spelling mistakes. And that's really what the danger is. The danger is that the vast majority of people don't know that they don't know. And at the time Trump was elected president in the States in 2016, 44% of Americans got their news from Facebook. It wasn't necessarily Russian operatives manipulating the information. A vast majority were being done by teenagers in Eastern Europe, Macedonia as it happens, who didn't really give a shit who won the election. They just wanted to make money. So that's the real challenge that hits us. Sure, it's a problem with social media. Sure, it's a problem with unfiltered access to information. But also, it's a fundamental breakdown of one of the pillars of society. The fourth estate has an important role, and they are no longer the arbitrators of news, and therefore anybody can spread anything. That's the kind of dangerous world we live in. And I have a son who's turning 7 in 3 weeks, and people say to me, are you worried about TikTok? And I said, no, I'm worried about what comes after TikTok. Because TikTok is a logical conclusion of where we've got to now. In the beginning, you looked at social media and you saw what your friends were doing and then what they were having for lunch. And, geez, how many chicken sandwiches can you eat, people? You know, and no, I don't want to see another smashed ever. Also, for the record, it's not smashed, it's just mashed. And what we now have is information just coming at people, determined by an algorithm, determined by, not by, you know, it may not necessarily be malicious. TikTok just wants to show you advertising, you know. Then you overlay. Well, what happens if someone wants to manipulate thought processes and etc.? Well, it turns out you just need Facebook for that. Just ask the Russians.